all smiles here. We begin tonight with news of a win from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. The Maine Endwell Little Leaguers played tonight in the Little League World Series. And now we are joined live by Fox 40's Jeremy Donovan and his teammate Dan North. Fellas?
Thanks, Frank. We are live here in Williamsport. Dan North. I'm Jeremy Donovan. Maine Endwell Little League is headed to the U.S. Championship game on Saturday after a thrilling 13-10 win over Kentucky. Dan, we knew Maine Endwell would have to score a lot of runs tonight.
Yeah.
I think mission accomplished.
Yeah, absolutely. 13 runs. Absolutely amazing game. I mean, this seemed like a championship atmosphere, really, with the crowd, this night game. Jude Abadessa was just absolutely outstanding. You couldn't ask more of him, and then he closed the game out pitching-wise also. But, I mean, again, championship atmosphere, and this team is headed Saturday. Unbelievable.
I believe on Twitter the official attendance was over 16,000. You mentioned Abadessa's big game. One of our fellow Binghamton media compatriots said today is going to be an Abadessa breakout game. I think he did that. 5 for 5, 6 RBI.
Yeah,
pretty good.
I think it's pretty clear he showed up when this team needed him most. I mean, unbelievable. And then Michael Mancini scoring a couple runs as well, playing big for him at shortstop, and Harlos did his job. Like you and I were talking about, it kind of seemed like a pitching duel, even though the runs were so high, which was kind of hard to believe, but just an outstanding game here.
And as we mentioned, they will be headed to the U.S. Finals against either Kentucky again or Tennessee, who they've already beaten. Now, it was a great day for Little League Baseball overall. Tonight's game, not the only highlight. Former Major League standout Torrey Hunter was officially enshrined into the Little League Baseball Hall of Fame earlier today, and he's caught up with the media beforehand and spoke about how big of a role Little League Baseball played in his success in the game.
And I have just one memory that sticks with me all the time is just this grand slam I hit. You know, my first home run was a grand slam, and it was off my best friend to this day. And the bases was loaded. It's the bottom of the sixth. Hit a grand slam, my first home run ever. So I really didn't know what to do. I'm like 10 years old, and I sprinted around the bases like it was a triple, and I didn't stop running. They was like trying to slow me down. I'm still running. I slid into home, and I was like, yeah. And it was like, it's a home run. You jog around the bases. I didn't know. I was a football guy. So my first home run was, you know, off one of my buddies, and it was pretty cool. Great moment.
And B-Mets fans may even remember him from his playing days in the Eastern League with the New Britain Rockets. He certainly remembers playing against the B-Mets, and he had these thoughts on the B-Mets name change next year.
The rocking horses, that's not scary at all. Like, it's like, hey, the zebras.
But the story of the week does not end there. Obviously, it's been these boys from Maine Endwell, but also it's been the local community support here. Thousands of fans continued to bus down here in Williamsport and show their support. While it would be the thrill of a lifetime for these boys to make it to the Little League World Series, which they have, and ultimately win it, it would even mean that much more to the fans.
And we are so proud of this team, and it's an absolute honor to come here and root them on. We have known a lot of these kids for a very long time, their parents, their grandparents, and we're just very happy and proud to be here.
It's amazing. Especially like knowing a lot of the kids and going to school with them. It's just been the best meeting these kids personally, and they're all real good kids.
Yeah.
The action just wrapped up on the field in front of us. Behind us, kids are still sliding down the hill, but Maine Endwell headed to the U.S. Championships here in Williamsport on Saturday at 3:30. We'll be back over the weekend as well as later on in the sports block. Reporting live in Williamsport, Dan North and Jeremy Donovan. Frank, back to you. Welcome back to Williamsport. We are live here at the Little League World Series alongside Dan North. I'm Jeremy Donovan. Maine Endwell Little League headed to the U.S. Finals here at the Little League World Series. A 13-10 win over Kentucky. Dan, as we mentioned before, they had to score a lot of runs today. I think they did that.
Yeah, and I think it all started in the first inning, really, because they were down 3-0. They hit a 3-run bomb where Justin Ryan nearly caught it out in left field. He's got to be super bummed, and they come right back in the bottom of the inning, just like they have all throughout the Little League World Series, and they jump right back to score 2 runs, and then they score in every inning multiple runs. So, I mean, really outstanding performance.
You mentioned that Scott Rush said after their game on Thursday that the goal is to put up a crooked number as often as you can. For those of you that don't know, crooked number, anything but a 1 or a 0. 2 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second and the third, then 2 again in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, and of course not needing to bat in the bottom of the sixth. That's pretty efficient.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just shows how deep they are in their roster and in their whole lineup because, I mean, when Jude Abadessa is going 5 for 5, you got Mancini at the top of the order, and then guys like Connor Rush, Brody Raleigh throughout I mean, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't end. So, I mean, it shows how powerful their offense is, and 13 runs is no joke for sure.
You mentioned Abadessa's day, 5 for 5, 6 runs batted in, 6 of the 13. That's nearly half. A big day for him. One of our Binghamton media counterparts at one of our competitors did say in the press box that he was going to have a breakout day today. I think that prediction came true. A great day for him. The birthday boy, Michael Mancini, I believe he's turning 13 today.
Okay.
Still in the cutoff of Little League. He had the go-ahead RBI in the 5th inning. Just overall ecstatic for these kids.
Yeah.
Ecstatic for the Broome County area and Endwell because this is huge.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And Jude is the dude, Michael Mancini, the maestro. I mean, it doesn't end. And like you said, the community support was just amazing. It was, you could always tell when Maine Endwell was scoring because it just got so loud. And there's so many fans here, literally thousands. Like, we're not exaggerating at all. Multiple thousands of people here. I mean, and after the game, they're running up to us, smiling, slapping hands all around. So, I mean, the atmosphere is just amazing here in Williamsport.
The official count from Little League's Twitter account, over 16,000 people here at Lamadi Stadium and on the surrounding hill. We caught up with Matt and Michelle Raleigh, the parents of Brody Raleigh, before our 6 o'clock show. Matt, a former BMet who has played in several big games, coached in several big games. Michelle, a national champion at college at Cortland in soccer. And they say that this, for their son Brody, is more exciting than anything they did in their own success.
You know, as a parent, obviously, I'm very proud of my son and also very proud of the team. You know, I've had a chance to play in a lot of big games, but when you compare apples and oranges, you know, for a 12-year-old boy, this is bigger than a World Series at the Major League level. I mean, this is, again, to play it is one thing, but to see the excitement in your son, to live it and go through it is way more enjoyable on my end.
Heard Matt and Michelle both ecstatic. Personally, I haven't been this excited about a baseball game since maybe the 2014 Eastern League Championship for the B-Mets. This rivals that, and I can only imagine that this weekend is going to be even bigger.
Yeah, and I think the thing about it, like we heard Torrey Hunter speak so much about, is that Little League Baseball, there's just such a humbleness about it, and you can see it in these kids, the way they play. They root on the kids on the other team, and really it's just an amazing atmosphere.
And the Maine Endwell will play for the U.S. Championship on Saturday at 3:30 against either Kentucky or Tennessee. They both play tomorrow. ME having beaten both of them already, so possibly a Little League World Series title up for grabs on Sunday. Dan will be down here all weekend. I'll try and make it down myself as well. We'll have coverage throughout the weekend for Fox 40, but now in Williamsport, signing off,
Dan North,
Jeremy Donovan. We'll be back after this.